What's up, guys? Welcome to Game Week 7 Watchlist video. And we're starting right now. Okay, we'll start by first looking at how I performed in Game Week 6. I had 56, and there's a reason for that. Let's dive in. Okay. So, I had opted for Tottenham to beat Leicester because Tottenham are a bigger side in theory. They flopped, so that made Alderweireld have a very, very bad rating. Vestergaard from Southampton had a good couple of game runs, but he flopped in the last game week, so that also hurt my FPL ambitions. But Bournemouth luckily paid me with some dividends. Rico managed to give me some 5 points. If Adrian kept a clean sheet, he would have had something like 6 or 7 points because he had a tremendous game. It's just that Liverpool conceded, and that also hurt the game for me. So moving on to the midfield. The midfield, you find that there's Dendoncker here, but he wasn't the pick that I had. My pick was actually Raheem Sterling. But since he played the full 90 minutes in the UEFA Champions League, Guardiola decided to bench him, and everyone thought that he might play in the second half, but that didn't happen either. So that is why you see Dendoncker showing on in the results this year in my Game Week 6. Kevin De Bruyne started well and has been consistent. I think he's the go-to, one of the go-to guys in this season's FPL season, because he managed to assist and score. And he's been doing that of late. That is Kevin De Bruyne at his level best. I think I can count on him to continue bringing in the points. Then we look at Matteo Guendouzi. He managed to assist, and that gave me something like 4 points. To be honest, I didn't really want to have Guendouzi in my team, but it was one of those things that I was using him to get De Bruyne back in the team and Alderweireld back in the team. So, moving on, Mohamed Salah had 5 points because he managed to assist that goal with Trent Alexander-Arnold's free kick. That wasn't so bad. All in all, it was an average performance from Mohamed Salah. Mane limped off, and I was thinking of replacing him in my watch list. So, as you can see from the front line, it's Mr. Sergio Aguero, who has now scored 6 goals in 6 games. That is the first by any other Premier League player in the history. So that should tell you something. Then we have Tammy Abraham. Tammy Abraham was playing against Virgil van Dijk. I mean, there was only one winner coming out of that bout. So anyway, I'll give him another chance for the coming weekend because I think Chelsea are at home and this can help, because I think he would do the damage like he's been doing in the past game weeks. Pookie, I think maybe he just burnt out. Maybe the next game week he'll do better because they'll be playing competition that is more of his style. So that is my review of Game Week 6. So let us look at my watch lists, the players that I want to put in my team for the coming Game Week 7. So if you see, West Ham now have the same number of clean sheets as Manchester City, which is 3, and Fabianski is the one holding their goals. So I think Fabianski will replace my current keeper, Adrian. And when he replaces him, I think he might do the damage. I'll see anyway, because Liverpool will be playing against Sheffield United away, and they might come out with a clean sheet. I'm still debating. Then we look at Trent Alexander-Arnold. He's just from scoring. He's already got 3 assists this season. I think if he continues in this vein of form, he can even beat his all-time records in the EPL for most assists in the season. So I want him to come in for this coming game week. I also want Leicester's Soyuncu to come in because he's been impressive. He's one of the reasons why Tottenham failed to win that game. So he's a man on the rise. I think he'll keep bringing in points. I think he's going to bring in points this weekend because Leicester are playing at home and they're playing a very small side of sorts. Rico, I think he can keep his place because Bournemouth will be playing from home, and I think they'll win that game because their current crop of players, their current 11, have such oozing confidence. It's oozing out of them. Then we have Maddison. I think Maddison should have had an international call-up in the last international games by England, but he didn't play. I think he can continue his vein of form because he's been a terrific player for Leicester now. And he's a very good player because he can even kick, he can even score from long range, he can hit free kicks and all that stuff. Sadly, at the end of the Tottenham game, he had an injury, but I'm hoping that he can shake it off. Then I'm tired of losing points from Raheem Sterling. I think I've given him about 3 weeks now. So I think I will opt for David Silva, something of a proven performer. It might be average points, but it is consistent. At least won't be a 0. He won't be subbed for rotation, something like that. I think David Silva is a proven performer and he's been bagging in assists for the past 2 weeks. And whenever he has a chance, you have at least the nod that he'll score. Then Mr. Consistent, Kevin De Bruyne, will be my vice captain for this coming game week. Mohamed Salah, I could have replaced him with Mane, but I think since Mane limped off the game, he might not be fit enough. For Pookie, this is the time for him to redeem himself. I'll give him some more time because he's earned me a lot of points this season. For Sergio Aguero, I'm not worried unless Pep Guardiola decides to rotate him. Then there will be a problem. But even though that happens, I'm still not worried because I think Abraham will be performing this weekend because Chelsea will be at home. So that would be my watch list for game week 7. Tune in for my official team selection on